no trainer, nothing but Solar Bears hockey. Dwight Howard's gone. He's like in Atlanta.
That's Orlando?
Yeah. Well, they took his job away too, right? Because killer whales can't perform any longer.
No, they were really killing it back in the 90s, trainers and performance-wise.
That's how we're starting the year.
I'm leaving that in.
We get a lot of shots. Everybody come to the net. We just have to get more and more pucks to the net.
What were you saying about putting pucks on net?
Continue to put pucks on net.
Well, that's the key. We got to get the puck on net.
Pucks on net.
He's got that nick for the net too. He just throws puck on net.
It was nice to get pucks on net.
Pucks on net and driving and making a hard night on him.
Well, I'm on tape from Geeta's apartment, her palatial estate on the 23rd floor. This is Pucks on Net, a Vancouver hockey podcast. Doesn't talk about fantasy or fancy stats. It's 2017, new year, new podcast, and all that garbage. The whole bench is here, and I'm surprised that this gear worked after the 4th annual Pucks on Net Christmas party.
You got a little bit of salt in the cracks.
Yeah, if you got salt in Vancouver, you're living on a gold mine right now. But
contact me at my Twitter handle for salt. I've got all your salt needs covered. I moved all my furniture to my house. It's nothing but salt. $80 a bag.
That's a good.
Kosher and Himalayan rock salt.
Yes, that's right. Geeta's doing my commercials starting on the radio tomorrow.
Paul, you live on the side of a cliff. You might need some rock salt.
No, I just don't shovel at all.
So you just have the skating rink?
Oh, there's no rink. It's just snow.
Apparently, rock salt is the 31-year-old Swedish free agent left winger for roads and cars. Apparently, it's the most destructive thing that we do. Apparently, it's the worst thing in the world for roads. It causes billions of dollars a year Canada-wide in vehicle damage. Mm-hmm. It eroded one of the major bridges in Montreal, and they had to close it way before its time.
But what are you going to do? Plow it?
Hey, you got to go 110 kilometers an hour down the highway in a snowstorm. I ain't slowing down for anybody.
Yeah, I got time for that.
Yeah.
We went to the state. We went down to the outlet mall today in Bellingham, and Did
you say goodbye to America?
Yeah. Well, one last time before it all goes to shit. I thought with the inauguration day looming that the dollar would have been down in the crapper, but apparently it's still about 75 cents for American dollar. But the whole yesterday was like, oh, it's gonna snow. There's gonna be a blizzard. It's gonna shut down, and I'm thinking we're gonna die.
Well, yeah, because they told us it would be about 9 centimeters this morning.
Yeah, you guys could just stay at the Muckleshoot Hotel and Casino Resort. I think Loverboy's playing their Florida night.
They're the house band.
Oh, I wanted to see like Air Supply at the Emerald Green Queen.
Well, anyway,
Peter Chris's solo show is next week.
Nobody likes Peter Chris.
Yeah, not even Peter Chris likes.
I'll be there though. I'll be there. I don't know. It's a new podcast, and I'm gonna try a new thing. I would just like to introduce all ourselves. So I'm Ryan.
And say one thing about
what? I'm Ryan.
Is grade 6.
Don't do it.
Okay, Paul.
Ryan's T-shirt supports a local gentleman's establishment.
We'll go to that in a second.
And if it wasn't for that gentleman's establishment, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
Because that's who employs you?
No, that's where my parents met.
We'll get to that.
That's a true story.
Just say that you're Dave.
I'm Dave. And my parents met at a strip club.
Geeta?
I'm Geeta. I'm the only girl in this room.
Paul?
I'm Paul, and I'm only here because my grandpa kept getting hurt playing hockey in Regina, so they never sent him over in WW2. That's a true story.
And that's how you...
Two separate hockey injuries prevented his deployment.
You don't know if he would have died, though.
He could have been good in the war.
He might have survived, but he was a pilot, and he trained pilots instead of dropping bombs on people because he flew bombers.
Oh, that's good.
There's your story. Short time, he played for the Pats as well.
Ooh.
Really?
Allegedly. I've never found proof of that, but that's the family story.
The nether regions of hockeydb.com can't drag that one up.
It would have been a long time ago.
I love hockeydb.com because you don't understand how often you're sitting in a beer league dressing room and some bender on your team. Oh, I played for these guys and those guys and that guy.
Did you know?
I've made it pretty awkward by just getting on the old iPhone.
Let's take a look at that.
Oh, yeah. What year? Oh, well, I got the whole roster, and even the fancy stats are here, and you're not on it. Well, it was a call up. It was preseason. I'm like, oh, yeah?
Oh,
just making the fish
right.
That was like that guy we met at Carly's birthday party from Langley saying he was friends with all the Giants and he'd get called up when they needed him to fight somebody.
Yes, I remember that.
And I'm like, we've worked here for 3 years now. We've never heard of you and you're way too old.
I wasn't at the party, but I remember you telling me about that. It's like he didn't count on the fact that like 6 people at that party would, we happen to work at the Vancouver Giants.
Yeah.
Well, not to mention you can also fact check his age. You're 36, fella.
He was a leap year baby, so he was technically 8, which made him eligible.
So basically, he played a summer game with Tyson Sexsmith or something once, and
There you
he's running with that.
You played with half the 1980s Canucks for one game. Does that mean that? Oh, I played for the Canucks.
Listen, I'm not gonna listen. We bring this up a lot, but I just undressed Garth Butcher. Listen, I got that goal, and then Dave Babbage knocked me to the ground real hard.
Ryan undressed Dave Butcher, Garth Butcher, and
They all those.
wait, that doesn't mean what you think it meant.
All those early '90s defensemen kind of blend together. You could just call them Dave Bitchmerson, Reinhardt.
Lume.
Ryan did get a nice goal against the Canucks alumni team.
I don't even some jabron was in net though. But the point is, I put on the Jets. I went past Garth Butcher and I roofed it.
And it's all on quality SD video.
Are my levels even on? Because I can hear all you guys and not myself.
You sound
I
like
can
a
hear
million.
you.
Yeah,
bucks.
you sound
Okay.
great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Want to thank?
Sorry. Are we thanking people?
You haven't.
Oh yeah. Thanks for joining us wherever you got us from. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at PucksNetCR, PucksNetCaw.
Wow, you guys, pick up the pace a little bit.
Emo Caw.
And like us on Facebook. Something. Paul, what are you eating?
I don't know. It's delicious and it tastes Hawaiian.
Yeah. Pucks on Net regular listener Chels sent us some Hawaiian treats, macadamia nut chocolate, coffee infused with chocolate, and a big bag of tea. So I'll divvy these out.
I opened up the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
She used this as a mule.
Oh.
It's just pure Colombian cocaine.
Oh, because there was an address on the postcard that said like something in Surrey.
Oh,
and we gotta.
someone's coming to pick that up
Yeah.
later?
No, yeah.
I've already Grant Feared half the bag.
Is that no?
That's Hawaiian cocaine. Come on.
Yeah.
Give credit where
I
credit
know Dog
is
the Bounty
due.
Hunter's gonna come get me. Gotta get off that ice bra.
Thanks for sending this. It's GD delicious. I'm not gonna
those
lie.
dark chocolate macadamias. I just had one.
It's easing the pain of the World
Wow.
Juniors tie game last night.
Oh, did that game end tied?
It ended. It ended. America won, Dave.
Yeah.
Half of you is pretty happy about that.
Half of me's happy. I'm happy for both teams. Like, I'll be honest, this was a mediocre World Junior tournament at best before this. Very uninteresting. Not a lot of buzz on the names.
Yeah, Canada wasn't supposed to go to the gold medal game, or were they?
I didn't expect to see him there.
This game saved this tournament.
Okay.
Like, win or lose,
Yeah.
like, people will say nice things about this tournament now. I don't think that would have been the case before.
I thought it was that U.S.-Russia game that saved the tournament.
Also great. But the issue, though, with the empty seats, the ticket pricing was the big controversy.
Sorry, I can't hear you anymore.
They priced everybody out of this tournament. They got to fix that before it comes to Vancouver.
What were they, like regular NHL prices?
Yeah, they were comparable to Habs and Leaf ticket prices.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not... I understand that you're playing in the big stadiums, but not for this tournament.
It's not NHL hockey.
No.
Say what you want about it. It's not NHL hockey.
Edit point. Talk.
Test. Two. Yeah?
I can hear you. You
I
sound...
hear you.
Okay.
Just. Can
It's
you
your
hear
head.
us?
I can hear
Can,
fine now.
Can you hear yourself?
Now I can.
Okay, it's likely just one of these. It's just a spotty plug, so just give me a nod. You don't have to interrupt, but just kind of go, hey.
I didn't interrupt.
No, but I'm just letting you know for the future.
Paul, it's not polite to interrupt people with their
You should just really leave all this in.
Why didn't you interrupt Mike Smith when he threw his entire team under the bus the other night?
I was so careful to slink out of that. I didn't even stay to the end of Mike Smith's comments. I felt so uncomfortable.
Were there tears in the room?
He was just like mad.
He's done.
His first clip. Oh, you wanted the audio. I'm sorry. I don't know if you.
I liked your impression better. Before we'll go back to the World Juniors, but
They lost. Whatever.
we'll go back.
Good
to
tournament, bad tournament.
Good job, America.
Who gives a shit?
We have to talk about that shootout, or not. Let's not.
They made the shootout great again.
Yeah, I had my doubts that America was going to be great again, but sure enough, they won the World Junior. So maybe I was wrong all this time.
He took credit for it.
It was beautiful.
I showed that Keller kid and that McAvoy kid what to do.
Guess what?
When we went to the Burlington Coat Factory, that's all anyone wanted to talk about. This shootout last night.
The game was on.
Don't you know they were all from Minnesota down there?
Was that game on like ESPN 12?
It was on in the Gentlemen's Club that Geeta and I were at yesterday to watch some of that game in there.
How was the strippers?
The first one was pretty good.
Yeah, and then it was a little.
It was 6:00 in the evening.
Oh, ugh.
Well, and I thought
Midday
that was
B squad.
not midday. I thought that was like peak time, like the dinner time
Who
crowd.
goes to a strip club for dinner?
I don't know.
Alcoholics, the unemployable, angry loners.
Why don't you ask Ryan what I ordered last night?
Was Steve Downey in the corner sending out angry tweets about the Arizona Coyotes?
Let me tell you a thing or two about Dave Tippett. All right, my New Year's resolution was one of them was to buy a number 5 orange T-shirt, and we decided we'd go buy one. And Geeta came along for the ride. We wanted to buy the shirt. We wanted to make sure things were still tickety-boo there. And
I'm still on vacation. I just wanted to hang out with my friends.
And it's 6:00, and we sit down at a strip club, and Geeta orders a cup of coffee.
You had a coffee at number 5 orange? They're probably like, do we have a coffee?
Yeah, she's like, "Do you want cream and sugar?" And it came with cream and sugar and the grounds.
But here's the one thing.
That's the first cup of coffee they've made in that place probably ever.
They look. It's just collecting dust. Like, how does this work?
It was like an Electro Home, like some brand that's been gone since the Cold War. Yeah. They shorted out the place. The music stopped because they had to plug in Geeta's coffee maker. So like all the Motley Crue just stopped, and the girl went, What am I doing? Without girls, this has no context. I'm going to go back and teach the 3rd grade.
The one part from that was funny related to the World Juniors game was it was in the 3rd period, and one of the girls had just finished dancing, and so everybody's clapping, and then the USA scored, and everybody's just like, and it's like, oh, that poor girl, like, come on.
She's out there just, spread eagle, popping ping pong balls out of all kinds of places. And all you guys can look at is Carter Hart.
Yeah, Colin White or somebody.
White, another Colin White.
We were there for Matt Barzal.
You were there for I was there for Dylan Strome.
Arizona reject.
Man. So Mike Smith, I don't blame him. Okay,
Ryan,
back
you
to
can
this.
put your mic down when you're eating. That was just a bit when I held it up to hear people. Thank you.
I want to get back to this Mike Smith thing.
Okay.
Where does the guy go though? There's nowhere like
Vegas?
Obviously he maybe he wants out of Arizona.
Yeah.
Like he's too good for Arizona, but he's not good enough to play anywhere else.
Is he that good?
No, he's not. But
He's big?
He's big, and we don't really know how good or bad he is because he's playing on such a
that's
bad
fair.
team.
No,
Right.
if someone needs a veteran backup, maybe they pick him up and they'll probably get him for a song.
But the safe play, if he wants to stay employed for the next 3 years,
Right.
he could stay there. No, he's like Cam Moore to the West. Like, he just be the goalie for that team that no one remembers.
He's been there forever.
yeah, but if he goes anywhere else, it's the end of his career.
Maybe he can go back to his previous employer.
The Dallas Stars.
Those guys.
That's where Mike Smith came
Yeah,
from?
he
started
started
there.
backup for Turco.
Yeah.
Why would they get rid of him?
They are in desperate need of goaltending, aren't
Hey,
they?
you forget the mid 2000s. It was like Marty Turco. He was like the Ken Phelps of the mid 2000s. Marty Turco. He plays the puck.
He's like a third defenseman down there.
And half a goalie.
He was pretty good, to be fair.
He got an NHL 2K cover. Tell
There
you
you go.
what.
Go to a final.
So did Ryan Kessler.
He went to a final.
Hey, Ryan Kessler's back now.
No, Turco went to a
Back on Twitter.
Oh, back on the good graces of the hockey world. He's looking like a shoe-in for the Selke Trophy.
I
this
don't think Turco made a final.
Oh.
year. No, I don't think he got out of the first round. Of the playoffs.
Dallas, the only time they made the final was when they won in '99, and that was
Right. It's
Ed Belfour and Roman Turek,
That's who I'm mixing him up with.
the dinosaur hunter.
Yeah, it's just post Andy Moog era Dallas Stars.
Andy Moog sassed me when I was 11 years old, and I never forgot. I asked for his mask. I don't think it was that unreasonable a request.
You've told the story before, and it
Podcast.
sounds that much better.
Can
the
I have your
second
mask?
time.
Yeah, because
No.
you've heard that story.
Yeah, you told him the podcast.
Yeah, it's just like whatever.
Big golden bear.
You're made it. No, it was after that. It was the after the Golden Bear.
Oh, is
Because he
this
still had a golden bear
This is
in-
the hot
Dallas.
dog boy.
You gotta explain. It's audio.
Oh, Well, anyone who saw the Canucks highlights or the game from the other night, there was a little boy sitting right up front with a sign that said if Bo Horvat scores, his dad was going to buy him a wiener dog.
And I think I'm under the assumption that sign was absolute bullshit, and that kid was getting that dog regardless. You know how expensive those tickets are? These probably got to be season tickets.
Yeah, but it's a nice story.
And Bo got the late goal
but it's
to
a story
get
that
clinch
happens
it.
a lot. Because this isn't even the first time it happened at a Canucks game, right? 'Cause last year, some kid wanted a dog.
No, it
Should we up the ante on the Canucks if they come through so often with these sign things? Should we just put like, if you guys win the Stanley Cup, you'll cure everybody's AIDS?
So I did a little search. There are 2 dash hounds available in Delta for $1,100.
Let's get them both. And
Each?
the dad's going to have to fulfill the promise, Geeta. We could make a fortune. This is my best idea since the salt harvest.
Listen, we package them together, Salt and the
We
dog.
could either sell the dogs at a huge markup or ransom them at a huge markup.
I'm just picturing Mrs. Dave comes home to the apartment and there's no furniture, just piles of salt, and these 2 little dogs licking up salt nonstop, and then drinking some water, and then licking some more. So it's going to be adorable.
She just closes the door and just goes.
She's no longer Mrs. Dave. I'm sorry.
You can sleep on a bed of salt.
Salt and wiener dogs.
You ever slept on the beach? It's very
Just
comfortable.
throw a blanket over it, you're good to go.
For people that aren't in Vancouver, basically everything here is a sheet of ice. We don't believe in.
We've never had winter before.
We've
It's
never
our
had
first time.
Yeah, we
No.
Weren't we bringing up some clips from Mike Smith? We never talked.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about how the Pacific Ocean has frozen over.
Yeah, quick. We were talking about salt because there are literally remember the old A&B Sound Boxing Day frenzies.
Yeah.
It's like Black Friday here, but for piles of salt to put on the
I
road.
gotta get that VCR DVD combo. I will kill anybody who gets in my way.
$9.
The mayor of Coquitlam will not rest. He's sleeping with a bat sitting beside the city of Coquitlam's supply of salt right now. He's been tweeting photos of it.
He really is.
And he looks like Homer Simpson.
Oh,
Shockingly.
the sugar episode where he had the big mound of sugar.
Well, parallels will be made. But yeah, the mayor
maybe if
did it
Mr.
without provocation. I pointed that out to him on Twitter.
Maybe
then.
if Mr. Plow had done his job when he was supposed to, we wouldn't be having this problem.
Hey, Mr. Plow, that's his name.
I think he is a boozer.
And then he was hanging out with Gloria Reinstad.
That was the Plow King.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, so if you're if people that are listening where they get snow regularly, this whole province is basically on ice rink sidewalks are sheets of ice. If you don't live on a main street, you can skate on a street, which they're doing right now. So people are desperate to get rock salt because they were too lazy to shovel snow 2 weeks ago, and it's the dumbest thing to have a riot over next to a Game 7 Stanley Cup loss. This city loves to freak out about stuff.
We don't handle stress well.
Well, according to Bro Pratt, it's all Gregor's fault, and it's the worst managed team ever. Anyway,
Climate change is Gregor's fault?
Tune into another TSN morning show for the first time in a while today, and all I heard was Pratt going, Gregor can't get enough salt for this city. It's the worst thing that could ever happen.
It really hasn't been that bad.
Anyway, no, it hasn't. I parked on a icy street on the weekend last weekend, and I got out alive. I have snow tires, though.
Get some chains. Get some tires.
Get snow tires and drive slow.
Take your time
and stop. People are honking at me when I slow down to take a turn on these icy roads, and those people need to shut up.
I haven't worked for the last 2 weeks. This weather's lovely.
Of course you haven't worked the last 2 weeks. You've been ordering coffee at strip clubs on Thursdays. Jeez.
I'm living the life.
Geeta's a degenerate now.
Oh my God, it feels amazing. Why didn't I do it before?
When you get in your full sleeve tat.
All I want to do is go to strip clubs in the middle of the day
and get weird parts of your body pierced, like your elbow. They do that now.
It's gonna hurt like a bitch, but it's gonna look really cool.
Instagram the hell out of it. What do you think, guys? Elbow piercing.
Dave,
near to me.
Dave, I had a question for you because it's in your neck of the woods. Are you gonna go play some sort of shinny on Trout Lake this weekend if it's still frozen?
I am on Sunday.
Oh, that's awesome.
We've got a league game at 8 rinks at 7 o'clock, but we're going to meet up at Trout Lake for a little barbecue.
Awesome.
A little hockey outside. We got somebody coming with the Ford F-150 with the barbecue in the flatbed. It's going to be great.
It's not a white pickup truck, is it?
No.
Okay.
He has got a thing against people.
He's going to drive on the ice like Emilio Estevez.
Sounds like
fall right through it.
He's from
Sounds like
he's from
merit.
Ken is from Calgary. He's a long-time listener. He knows when the ice is safe to drive on. No, we're gonna go there. Hey, if anybody wants to join, I got an extra pair of gloves, stick, and skates. Just
Nice.
throwing that out there for any of the pucks on net
You
guys.
stole those from the airport, didn't you? Those are Reed Boucher's.
Did his,
his gear,
did his
right?
gear get stolen?
Yeah, it got lost.
No,
Well, not
it's-
stolen, but
Anton
lost.
Rodin took it, so
Yeah.
he couldn't play.
He doesn't get to play either, though.
Okay, Brendan Gauntz took it.
Yeah, Rodin's gear has been stolen for weeks.
The only thing he's ever scored is Rodin's gear or Boucher's gear. What do you guys think of that pickup? I liked it a lot, actually.
Of Boucher?
Yeah.
He's a U.S. kid. He has a lot of potential, quote unquote. He's been waived 3 times.
Smells like Edam.
We all know how much we loved Edam earlier this year.
When you're already icing 4 AHL players in your lineup,
What's one more?
Yeah.
you might as well bring someone in that maybe has a little more offensive.
He's an upgrade.
Upside.
He's an
Does this
upgrade over
look like
Shaput.
Does this look like a Calder Cup winning team?
The Vancouver
Yes.
Canucks. Some grizzled vets on their last
This looks, like
round.
this looks like an NHL wildcard team to me right now.
the
The West
main-
is wide open.
Well, they're only a point out going into today, but no, the names that was thrown out was Ty Ratty, was the guy that a lot of people were furious.
Furious.
that
I know
Benning
who he
did
is.
not take him.
Pierre Maguire freaked out
He
about him once.
Played for the Portland Winterhawks. I was actually hoping
With
they'd
Sven
pick him up.
Baertschi.
With Sven Baertschi. They had a lot of success together.
And you know what? You want to know why they have success? Because they were scoring goals against goalies that are working in lumber yards now and defensemen that play for the Alberta Golden Bears.
Yeah, you
I mean-
beating Peyton Lee up top corner. Everyone's doing it.
All these junior hockey guys were facing the same goalies back then. So, I mean, I understand the interest. You want to pick somebody up. But honestly, Reed Boucher and Ty Ratty, very similar track records.
Matt Nieto is out there too. They're all similar.
The thing with Boucher, though, is last season in the AHL, in limited games, he was scoring about a point a game pace. Ty Ratty was not. Boucher had like 17 or 19 goals in 34 games or something. So he is scoring goals, not just setting them up at a reasonable rate. And he's got almost 3 times as many games, NHL games, as Ty Ratty. So, I mean, really, they're similar players, and the safer pick probably is Boucher just from experience thus far.
Is Ty Ratty Hunter Shinkarik syndrome, as it evokes the knee-jerk reaction of, hey, we know who that guy is?
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
He did some stuff in junior hockey, and he was a first-round draft pick. He's very Googleable.
I think he's second round.
Well, still very Googleable.
He could
But
still
like he has name recognition.
Could
Yeah.
still be a player, but yeah, people were excited because they knew the name. You shouldn't be excited about Boucher necessarily either. But I'm
I'm
just
not
saying,
excited, but I'm optimistic. He's scored at every level he's played it in,
Right.
including the NHL. He had 7 goals in 39 games, which is decent. Better than the 0 goals that Chaput has, or Labatt, or any other guys. I don't know who they are. They could be like, "Oh, I played on the Canucks." I'd be like, "Sure, you did. I'm your hockey DBU."
Wait a minute, he did.
Oh, okay, cool.
There's been there's been so many rookies this year and last year. Like every game, they do that rookie skate of, he's gonna take a lap by himself.
This game,
they don't have that many rookies. There's a lot of guys that are not full-time NHLers that have joined the team.
Troy Stetcher's like the 6th most games played in the NHL out of all the defensemen on the Canucks this year. There's like 3 guys who played less games than Troy Stetcher.
I love watching Troy Stetcher play.
Yeah, if they don't screw that up and keep him happy, that'll be a nice piece for the next 10 years. Same with Triumkin. The Canucks defense, if you want to talk about the 5-game winning streak, and by the way, I got a bone to pick with all the fans, especially some people on Twitter who messaged me directly about this.
Oh.
Y'all need to shut the fuck up and relax a little bit. Just enjoy it. I don't want to hear that it's a mirage. What, you think that we're the only people that have thought of this? Oh, they need to lose games to get Nolan fucking Patrick. Look,
Who hasn't played this year?
we
He's played
all
5 games.
We
this
all
year.
know it's in their best interest not to do this. Okay, we're all fully aware that winning games with this team is like the fantasy, like not a good idea thing. But you can't tell professional athletes, particularly
Don't worry,
hockey players, to
Dave.
throw
I'm
games.
sure there are fans in Columbus saying the same thing about their team.
We got to stop winning so many games.
Whoa,
Gita.
whoa, whoa!
15 in a row. What about our
16?
draft chances? I don't want to win the cup. I want to win a first-round draft pick. My point is,
Nolan
sorry,
Patrick.
my point is, look, if you're on Twitter and you don't work for one of these teams, chances are you're not the first person to call this out or think of it, all right? So just shut the fuck up. You're a fan. Root for your team to win. I'm tired of people asking for the teams that they root for to tank, and they get on the internet after they win a game and act like they're disappointed. It's a 5-game winning streak in the middle of what's been a long, hard winter for the Vancouver Canucks. If you're a fan of this team, just enjoy it for what it is. Enjoy the ride. Watch the game tonight. If they push it to 6, great. If they lose, you'll sleep better. But please do not post on Twitter that you want this team to lose. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's stupid. The draft is weak this year, and the West is too. What's wrong with making the playoffs? They get a chip and a cherry. You could win a round with these goalies.
You could also tank all you want and still end up picking 4th or 5th.
We saw this. I think we've seen this story before.
But stop thinking you know something that other people don't, because you don't.
Listen. The more I keep going, Dave, or go on.
That's all I got.
I mean, if I don't mind people cheering for the tank later in the season when it's really out of the way, and not that I'm saying the Canucks are going to push for anything.
They got 30-something games to go.
But there is something, going into the room right now. This is a team that doesn't expect to do anything. Debatably, one of the least strong teams on paper in the NHL.
There's no pressure on them.
But stringing together a bunch of games, there's something about being that underdog that is very appealing to me. Maybe it's because I'm a journalist. I like a good story, but I can understand where they're coming from, wanting the tank. Like, I was sort of cheering for it at certain points in past years when it was already out of the way. But right now, you're pointing out of the playoffs. You get all these kids. It's not that great. It's potentially there could be some guys in the draft, but there's no home runs. You're probably going to get a good, reasonable quality guy at 10 or 12. That's not going to be that different than what you're going to get at 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever.
But just hang in there. Why not try to win? Why not try to get into the playoffs?
Well, and if you're going to do it, but don't jump on people for being happy about the wins at the same time.
Basically what happened is I sent a tweet out, conveying that I was pleased with them winning their 4th game in a row. And I had about 10 or 11 people either tweet at me or private message me that I'm stupid for wanting this to happen.
The more I'm reading Ken Dryden's book here about what makes a successful team, and they go, that winning is good for development. Yeah, I'm starting to think it is. I think that there's a mindset that these players need to have, or else if you look at the Buffalo Sabres, that we're gonna lose. We're not gonna try. We're gonna trade our goalies 3 times.
Edmonton for the last 5 years.
Okay, guys, we're good now. Okay, so be good at hockey.
They haven't learned to win.
Be positive guys in the room. Know how to win. Yeah, and don't just completely change everything you've learned about NHL.
Change your mindset.
It doesn't work that way.
No, the best player. You look at the guys who have developed. They had a couple losing seasons earlier in their career, but they didn't sit there for 5 or 6 years like you're saying.
Yeah,
and lose games. And it's a little 5-game winning streak. I think the Canucks will probably miss the playoffs. They'll probably miss it by about 5 or 6 points, which is a lot. But I want to look back and go, well, in late December and early January, we had a little fun.
Yeah,
they won some games.
They're beating the teams they should be beating, and there's something that they should do that.
If we get to the trade deadline and they're 1 point out, then this becomes a much more serious conversation about what you do, because there will be teams that will call about Ryan Miller. There will be teams that call about Yannick Hansen. There'll be teams that call about Alex Burrows. And when you're 1 point out of a playoff spot and you're trying to get in, those are guys you would want to keep because you need them to get into the playoffs. So then it becomes an actual debate. But we're about 2.5 months from having those kind of interactions with people online and having that episode.
Yeah, let's wait for that one.
So for now, if you're out there listening, I know you are, just put on your blue, green, white, red, black, yellow, burgundy, silver, white, whatever colors the Canucks wore that week. Tie-dye for a little while and enjoy yourself. Plunk yourself down on the couch tonight. It's Friday night. It's too cold out. You can't drive anywhere. There's no salt.
You're watching the game.
Watch the game.
The Calgary Flames, shitbags.
Yeah,
come
Chris
on.
Versteeg's in town. He's a big star.
How about that Chris Versteeg?
Versteeg.
They're selling Horvat hot dogs at Canucks games now. You need to get one of those tonight, right?
Yeah.
That guy looks like a giant baby.
He does. He has a really big face.
Is anybody? We're all kind of sick of the Wiener Dog kid. His 15 minutes are up.
Stop. Yeah.
It's a good story.
He might be a listener.
I'm with Geeta. I don't really care.
You think that kid listens to this podcast?
The dad might.
Talking about strip club coffees? Come on.
Dad definitely does.
The dad needs to grow some facial hair because he looks like he's ready to star in Home Alone 4.
Anyway. Yeah. So you could be a fan of the Arizona Coyotes, who we are kind of excited for last year especially, but...
Well, they're not scoring any goals.
They've lost, is it 8 or 9? Are they up to 9 now? Did they lose another one?
They're terrible.
At least 8 in a row.
Dave, all their studs, all their superstars, long-term injured reserve. playing in Russia. They got a lot of problems. Who's going to score goals for them? Pavel Datsuk's not going to do it. Chris Pronger's not going to do it.
They got so many guys going into the Hall of Fame as Arizona Coyotes. You know how in baseball that's the issue, like what cap they wear. Like Chris Pronger and Pavel, that last team they belong to,
Arizona
Coyotes.
Pronger hasn't retired. Can he be a Hall of Famer?
He's
Isn't he
already
already a
in the
Hall of
Hall.
Famer?
He works for the NHL.
He can't file his papers online because the glare of the screen is too much. He
It's
gets
so
headaches.
sketchy. Yeah, I don't think if you've still got an active contract on the books, your 4 years shouldn't start. But that's just me.
So, when the Canucks beat the Arizona Coyotes, it was the first time they had a shutout win since October 2015.
That's a long
time. And I was at the game against, I think, the Kings, and I was in the bathroom with a guy at the urinal. I'm like, well, they're gonna get the shutout. Jesus! And then they won, but they didn't get the shutout. But you were at the game covering it, and then you came back to work, and you were just like, that was the bleakest scene I've ever seen in that dressing room.
Well, I was scared because Phoenix or Arizona has not always had a large media following, and I mostly do road room stuff for filing, and I was afraid I was going to be going in there alone, and I didn't know if I'd make it out alive.
Hey guys.
So anyway, I went in, quickly got Brandon Sutter because he was the first guy up. I asked him, what it means to the team to win be on the streak and all that stuff. And
are you concerned about your tanking chances, man?
That'll be next game. I'm not doing tonight, but next game.
Were you tempted to just flick that puck over the glass on the penalty shot? Like when it went into the top corner, you're like, yeah, jeez.
Did you realize what this does to the draft lottery, Brandon? Come on.
Yeah, jeez Louise. But yeah, then I slunk over there, but luckily they did send they had Fox or something, and what's her name? McClellan, the reporter that covers the Arizona. So a couple of McClellans work in the room.
Your sister?
Yeah, she's probably a cousin or something.
Probably.
I figured the Seattle media will start covering that team pretty soon.
Anyway, so they were asking all the questions, luckily, because that was... Well, first we got Luke Shen. Luke Shen was surprisingly positive, and I was like, "Oh, maybe they're okay."
He's got a job. That's why Luke Shen's one of those guys who's like, this is the last team I can play for and not worry about getting put on waivers.
What about Vegas?
He was surprisingly positive.
So who do they bring out next?
Then we went to Kevin Connaughton,
who was responsible. The first goal was totally his fault.
Why would they give us Kevin Connaughton? That seems like
he played in
punishment.
the Giants. He was a Canucks draft pick.
I know, but a lot of teams will protect guys that really blow it unless they're like a big star.
Maybe they were a little sour at him. They just called him up.
Well, that's it. Maybe there was a point to be made.
But he
you're gonna be accountable.
That's
one of the
tough love.
One of the last things he said. And I'm paraphrasing, but it was basically like you got to stay positive, or else you'll go to a dark place after something like that. Like it was
are they listening?
Dallas.
So after you leave, you know how they turn the music on the room? Are they listening to Mad World by Gary Jules?
Mad World, Suicide is Painless, the MASH theme song with lyrics.
Adagio for strings.
So we got Kevin Connaughton. I feel for the kid. Like
he's had a tough Christmas.
We went over.
You know what? He plays for the Roadrunners. His former Giants captain. Arizona or Phoenix or Tucson, Craig Cunningham.
Sure.
It's like he's dealt with a lot. He's had a lot on his plate.
Vancouver Giants.
He's gonna be all right. I'm sad to say that his career is over, but I'm really glad that he's gonna live a long and happy life.
I heard he lost a little bit of his leg.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Do you know how much?
He's not playing hockey anymore.
Well, was it? Like, is he up to the knee?
No,
okay.
I wasn't there.
Okay.
I had
It's
one
cool.
job for you over the Christmas break.
I tried to be on the Tucson Roadrunners fan club, but we need 3 members to start. And it was just me and some other guy.
Some big
You,
fat guy.
Wile Coyote.
He's like, I've been following the Roadrunners since they were in the RHI,
What's that?
the Roller Hockey International.
You got to call up Rhonda.
My buddy Kyle when he was in the ECHL, was the goalie for the Phoenix Roadrunners, and they played out of the same building that the Suns play out of. That the old Coyotes part. He said that was a great place to play.
Yeah, obstructed views everywhere, but nice loud fans are downtown. That's why
the
they're
American Airlines
He got
Arena?
an NHL call up straight from there once.
To which rink?
Well, it was the Worcester Sharks were on a lengthy playoff run, and the San Jose Sharks needed a third goalie for their playoffs. And his ECHL team had missed the playoffs by a great deal. So, he got called up to essentially be cannon fodder for practice. when they had to work on the high shots.
When it's so funny. You always talk about how in warm ups before games you're not supposed to wing. Lift the blast it at the goalie.
You're shooting it into his pads. If you're not putting it in the pillows, you're a goddamn dick. Or if you're triple deking him in the warm up, you're also an asshole.
So over Christmas, Paul did. We did the. we covered the Pat-Quinn Classic, and Paul did play-by-play for it. And we were sitting out there for the warm-up, and I saw this 14-year-old kid come up and just wire it, hit the goalie right in the mask. And I've never been so infuriated. I'm like, you can't do that. What are you doing?
I hope the kids are sticking to that because that was a benchable offense.
Yeah, it was.
My Bantam team was not very good.
Yeah.
We were quite average, but we had an insanely good goaltender that stole us a lot of games and even won us some tournaments.
So you're the Montreal Canadiens,
essentially, of the British Columbia Hockey Association. And my father, the coach, would bench us if we came even close to hitting him in the helmet. He's like, I'm so worried about him. Don't even look at him.
Right.
He's like, you don't have to take the warm up if you don't want to. He would tell him, you can just throw tennis balls against the wall.
Put a shooter up.
We used to call him bubble wrap because essentially that's what we would do. But if the puck went chest level, you were sitting the first couple of shifts in the first period. You were not playing.
Because you don't need to be doing that in the warm up.
So it's I think that's been beaten into me because I've had a couple of goalies actually say, in the warm up you really throw a lot of muffins at me.
But that is the rule now they're using with Mike Smith in Arizona.
Muffins.
Don't piss this guy off.
Yeah, I worry.
He's
got nowhere to go.
No, but what did he?
Anyway,
you talked to him
right
next.
after Connaughton. We went over to Mike Smith, and he was clear at some point about it wasn't Connaughton's. Well, he's kind of don't blame. He's been up and down, works hard every day.
Yeah.
The forwards aren't scoring. He kind of threw the forwards under the bus.
when they get you 0 goals.
Yeah,
but he's the wrong guy to be putting up with this. He's 35. It's the end of his career. He wants to win. He couldn't be in a worse spot. However, playing devil's advocate, like I said before, he could play there for another 3 years and no one would notice. Mm-hmm. And then he's got an NHL job making millions of dollars till he's 38. If he tries to go anywhere, people will see him. Do you know what I mean? Martin Biron had this theory. He goes, I was the number 1 goalie in Philadelphia and the puck started going in the net. And then I hitched my wagon to being a 15-game-a-year backup behind Henrik Lundqvist in New York. Extended my career by 3 years.
Yeah.
He's like, sometimes you got to be self-aware. He said that on TSN's panel once.
I thought
that was great. And Mike Smith, same thing. You don't need to be a backup. You can just play there.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
But if you go somewhere else, you get picked up at the deadline, let's say Jake Allen continues to be and the Blues get a little antsy, they could pick Mike Smith up. You get scored on the NBC Sunday game.
And then you get a giant 3-year contract in Vancouver.
There you go.
Yeah, even though that was one of my favorite bits when we were subtracting money from Ryan Miller.
You scored on him again.
He made more money than we thought.
Let him up.
We were betting $1, Bob.
Future Canuck goaltender Mike Smith, I think. But anyway,
Jim betting was $6 million a year. We're like, $1.
I think you were referencing earlier what you wanted me to tell you. He was having trouble saying sentences. Everything he said at the beginning was really spaced out. I can't remember what the quote or the question was now.
You're trying to find non-swear words.
This is really difficult right now.
I don't want to misdirect my anger. I'm not mad at you.
I wouldn't look at us.
I'm going to play glasses half full. You are a goalie in the NHL and you play every night. That's why I'm saying I really don't think he could do that anywhere else.
It's not his fault though.
No, it's not his fault, but he's past his prime.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of in this losing mindset. I don't think he could go anywhere. Detroit could probably use a goalie right now. Because Mrazek's development is stalled and Jimmy Howard is not the greatest.
Right.
There's places for goalies to go, I think, in the NHL. But Mike Smith is the last guy that I would sign. The first guy I would go after is Ryan Miller because I think he's better than his stats because he faces a lot of shots in the danger zone.
Except if the Canucks are playoff bound.
Then we're riding that Miller Markstrom train all the way to the second round berth.
They're gonna trade for Mike Smith. They need a good 1A, 1B tandem.
Mike Smith, if you're listening, free piece of advice: don't put that house on the market. Stay in the zone. Don't leave the zone. If the team moves to Seattle,
move with them.
Yeah, toss salads and scrambled eggs.
I got a question for you. When is
all over his face?
When is Colorado moving back to Quebec?
What is going on there? We have not talked about that enough on this show. What happened to the Colorado Avalanche?
Well, first off,
Was
you
it us
can't
when we
pronounce.
started doing that?
It's just the wrong. It's just the wrong
Only
mix of
been
players.
doing that for a solid year.
And they've been bad for about a year. But you look at those kids though. You name them off. Like you got
Duchesne and
Landeskog, McKinnon, that Rantanen kid's good.
Tyson Barrie,
Soderberg,
Eric Johnson, the grizzled vet stud defenseman.
Simeon. What'd you say to me, girl? Varlamov.
Mike Camilleri. No, I'm
He's-
kidding.
Well, the problem is they got for some reason have Rene Bourque on their top line.
Yeah, I thought there's a guy I didn't know was in the league still.
Who
I thought he was playing for the
Was he
St.
playing
John's
in that Colorado game?
you wouldn't know it.
I
thought he
was
was-
there, and I didn't even remember seeing.
I thought he was playing for a team named after a Tim Hortons drink, the St. John's Ice Caps.
I was just looking for Milan Hajduk or something and surprised why he hadn't had 4 goals against the Canucks yet.
There's
There have been rumors that they want to move Duchesne or somebody because
I think that's
you
a
just
mis-
need to mix it up. I mean, it's not that different than like the Taylor Hall situation where still a good player.
I think that's a panic move. I don't think you do it. I think you
There-
Well, I mean, you don't rush into it, but if you can exchange more like the Seth Jones, Ryan Johansson thing, I like Seth Jones a lot better, but you're still getting something back.
I ain't trading anybody. I'm not. And here's why. Here's what happened to that team. Now, they had that 50-win season, and that they had O'Reilly and Stasny. They were incredibly strong up the middle. Mistake number one was getting rid of Ryan O'Reilly. They somehow justified that, but I've never really been able to reconcile.
They've gotten rid of 2 important players.
Yes,
Paul
So,
Stastny and Ryan O'Reilly.
It looks when you're Nathan McKinnon and you're Gabe Landeskog, you look great playing against Lucas Spies every night, and you're not going against Chris Tanev. But here's why you don't get rid of anybody. Their coach quit 2 weeks before the season started, and they had to scramble and find somebody and get a system in place that should have been worked on for months.
That's the thing. They removed a really big personality off that bench.
Yeah.
And there's a hole, and the coach they hired is in a tough spot. You get rid of the guys that you know you should get rid of, like Rene Bourque, Jerome McGinley, Beauchemin, those guys. Don't trade your kids in a panic move just because this ain't working. It's only been a couple of years. You're not at that 5-year Oiler level yet. Don't do it. What are you pointing at?
What are you pointing at?
Oh,
Put
so
the game on.
there's no team moving to
We
Canada.
should wrap this up. Hello.
I think you have the remote.
You guys have tickets to the game tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna arrive fashionably late.
You're gonna miss warm up.
Oh, I'm gonna miss the anthem. Someone sing it for me.
Is Geeta essentially your new, what was his name? Uncle Dan?
Uncle Dan.
Is Geeta gonna get drunk and go into his suite and then and
We're allowed in here.
tell
Don't worry.
Jim Benning that I really like that Reed Boucher pickup. You're gonna be calling me in tears. She left me on the game.
You gotta come get me on the SkyTrain station. I don't know where I am.
Where the f*** is Gilmore? On New Year's Eve, we took the SkyTrain out to a friend of the show, Dr. Chris's place.
Yeah.
And he lives in Coquitlam, and he's actually very close to one of those new SkyTrains.
Did you take the Evergreen line?
We did. And I ended up I went by a station called Burquitlam. That's not a place.
It also sounds really tacky to say you live in Burquitlam.
I know.
Sorry, listeners.
Just
That's common though. Like there's Ridge Meadows, Burquitlam.
It means they're like a neighborhood.
It
I
means
know
you're
they're
on
under-
the border. You live at Lougheed Mall, essentially.
Well, nobody says they live in Burnaby or Vancouver. Like, come on.
I live in Worth, Vancouver.
North Squamcouver.
I think my parents live at
Surdell is
Burnaby.
a thing that used to be in the 90s, at least when I was there.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up just because
That was Scott Road.
there's a quick turnaround. The last thing I wanted to talk about was how stupid outdoor games are becoming.
Yeah, there was one on January 2nd. I didn't even know about it.
Well, that was the stat to observe New Year's Day, which was on Sunday.
Also, because they give them weird names, like
Centennial Classic,
Yeah.
only one's allowed.
I don't get that. I'm like, is it already the 100th anniversary of
Mega
an
Bowl.
outdoor game?
Tostito Bowl. I understand.
I want to watch the Miss Vicky's Bowl.
We're watching
Miss
the
Vicky's Chips Bowl. They cut your gums.
We're watching the Road Salt Bowl tonight at Rogers
The
Arena.
Roads. That's what this game is called. The Road Salt Classic.
It's 100 years of the NHL though. Although they did
Oh.
not win the Stanley Cup 100 years ago.
Gotcha.
It was a Pacific Coast winner. Anybody know who it was? 100th anniversary of this year?
Seattle Metropolitans.
There you go. The first
Oh,
American winner of the Stanley Cup.
It's an omen. I hope Mike Smith enjoys losing with the Seattle Metropolitans.
Before we talk about the last thing of the outdoor games, we're all three or four out of four of us are jersey nerds. What do you think of the placement
Wait,
of
who's a jersey nerd?
I'm a jersey. I like to pay
Not
attention
it.
to jersey.
No.
I have one jersey,
No,
but
no,
it was
I- no.
crazy expensive.
No, we
I
don't.
have like one jersey too.
We don't like.
Tags are still on it.
We don't buy them, but
The-
we just
we like.
we
I
appreciate
like
them.
jersey. I'm a goalie gear nerd too.
Okay.
I got
Just
the
that we
Instagram.
talk about okay.
I like hockey cards.
Jeez, go back to Tim Hortons and get some.
Geeta's hockey card collection shows the male pattern baldness that Jason Spezza has gone through throughout the year. You get like a flip book. Look at his hair disappears.
Very funny, guys.
They put the 100. They put the NHL 100th anniversary patch under the numbers as opposed to on the shoulder.
I didn't notice that because I didn't really watch the game.
Oh well, I don't want to.
Oh, I thought they were wearing those lime green jerseys. I don't know.
No,
what
that's
was on.
Thursday Night Football.
I had the Latvia versus somebody game, the World Junior game on instead.
Well, they anyway, as opposed to our
Slovenia.
as opposed to our beloved 75th anniversary patch that we all saw in our Pro Set cards in 1991, they've got it underneath the numbers on the left
That
hand.
was
Right hand.
75th anniversary.
What did I say?
70th.
Oh, sorry.
That was the Pavel Bure debut season.
That's right. So anyway,
200,000 people apparently were at the Coliseum that night, depending on who you asked.
you were there with like 45 different people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Whole seat.
Whole family.
But the thing I'm really hating about the outdoor games now is we 2 times this year. First off, there's 3 of them this year, which is stupid. And
we got another one of these.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
we had the Jets game. That was cool.
Vancouver's never getting one again.
Oh God.
So we talked about this.
That was
once.
the worst one.
Well, that's the thing.
That was when
If-
the bubble burst.
because Toronto seems to play one every year. I feel like if you just shut your mouth, play your game, and go on your happy way, you're gonna get awarded another outdoor game. Just don't attract.
Or you're the
drama.
Chicago Blackhawks.
you got it. Well, you have to be the Blackhawks. They played in 6 outdoor games.
Yeah, but they're good.
Yeah, but it's
And
just like
people know who they are.
it's
And
just
they're
to,
good.
you know, there used to be one a year, and you would be able to you could
Do you
name.
remember when they had like 17 outdoor games at Yankee Stadium
Yeah.
a couple years ago?
And were the Rangers the away team
Well,
at
there
one
was
point?
like the 35 in California.
on roller
Oh, yeah,
hockey
and
one.
Kiss performed.
You guys ready for Kiss?
Las Vegas had an outdoor game.
That's right, in the parking lot of the MGM
And
Grand.
the ice was legendarily bad. They were spray painting it. Luke Robitaille was on Jay and
Kings.
Dan's show, and they were he was talking about that game, and he was like, it was the worst ice he's ever seen.
It's like the ice at Robson Square.
I've never skated on that.
It's like
Actually, it's the ice that's on Robson
if
Street.
if any kids are heading to Trout Lake Park or wherever else there's free ice on the weekend, just remember
Front of the art gallery.
it's the worst.
Sharpen
sharpen your skates after. It's literally the worst thing for your blades.
if you have a minor hockey league game a couple days after, you will just fall out of the gate.
Like I'm going right to the pro shop on Sunday night after I'm finished playing out at Trout Lake with what I'm guessing sounds like 10,000 other people.
Yeah, there's just going to be 5,000 against 5,000, and then you're going to turn the nets around because nobody has
I'm
any
gonna,
pads.
I'm gonna dangle everybody.
Pick a fight, get the elbows up.
Oh yeah.
The thing I wanted to say about the outdoor games now is we've had 2 instances where it's been delayed because of sunshine. Like,
Wouldn't have been a problem at BC Place.
oh, Jesus
We
Christ.
just closed the roof.
Then it's just a giant stadium game.
Jesus Christ, Gary, that's just too damn beautiful outside. We can't have them playing like this. We're going to have to push this back an ungodly hour.
Well, if they have an outdoor game in China next year, it'll be a smog warning.
Can't see past the blue line.
I'm going to scout out that. I got my tickets. I'm going to a KHL game.
Hey man, you put foghorns
March
on either net.
13th.
Really?
I'm going to see Red Star Kunlun.
Nice.
Jesus, I'd like photos. I'd like video.
Oh, you know, I'm gonna Instagram the fuck out of this. I want to get a shot of just me in like one section by myself. No matter where my seats end up being, I'm going to move and sit in
You
a
should
section
have
by
to
myself.
Skype in.
Live from
China,
Pucks on Net.
China doesn't have Skype. We went over this.
Could we do a light?
right.
Could we do a
Weibo.
They have Diet Skype.
lightning round?
Of what?
Magna and the Sedines?
No.
What the hell?
It's just Magna. There's no Jason. It's just Magna.
Yeah.
Liquid cold Magna.
They are undefeated
He's
with
a
Magna
Brazilian
on the
soccer
top line.
player, from what I
Yeah,
heard.
But the Sedins haven't been putting up points at even strength.
Yeah, they are winning. The Canucks are winning in spite of the Sedins.
Rodin is back in tonight.
Really?
Because Burrows is out.
Oh.
Why are you not playing potential goal scorer even if he has some...
Well, they tried that earlier this year. Let's put a Swedish guy with the Twins. It's got to work. Let's give him all the money.
But did they keep him there long enough?
No.
No.
Well, we have a junior coach that's trying to win every game to save his job. So he's going to put four. Was the one you saying like we got to have a grinder on every line. We
Yeah.
got to have a goal scorer on every line. And it's like, what is this NHL 17? Like, come on.
I think Vertanen should probably get a shot with the Twins before anybody else does. I think it's time to bring him back.
No, they just need like a pylon in front of the net, and Jason Megna is not a pylon in front of the net.
apparently he's
an
a fast.
AHLer.
He's a fast pylon.
Brian Elliott's probably going to pitch a shutout tonight because I was about to comment that his numbers are poopy.
Great. Well, Geeta and I are going to head down to the road to the game now, and they will. He will likely get the shutout.
I'm going to be at the Back 40 Lounge.
Just getting drunk.
Nah, I'm not feeling that well. I would probably have some dinner
Oh.
and say goodbye to my friend who's going to Africa for a year.
Maybe.
He's driving across the continent.
Wow.
Really?
Driving all the way to Africa. That's
he's
tough to do.
flying to Africa and he's going to drive
Wow.
across Africa. 'Cause
Yeah, the
he-
ocean's frozen. I
he-
thought it was
He
possible.
was like, I can't stand
Yes.
another day in the visual
Well,
effects
Dave's
industry.
skating on the Pacific Ocean tomorrow.
We're all on thin ice tomorrow.
Ah! Well, too bad I have to do the plug. So thanks for that'll wrap it up this week's podcast. We'll be back on Monday. You guys are excited for that, aren't you?
We can talk about the Canucks'
Nope.
new losing streak.
That's a quick turnaround.
Yeah, we'll come. Well, I got things to talk about, like how much I've been reading the game.
Oh, counterfeit jersey right behind the Canucks bench. When you get to the game, can you laugh at him, please?
Ha 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 ha! You look like a stupid. Ha ha! Make sure you follow us on Twitter at PucksNetCA or PucksNet. Ha ha. Ha. And subscribe on iTunes and all that jazz. And any closing remarks, everybody?
I'll be signing autographs on the concourse.
This is gonna come out tomorrow.
I hope everybody got their autograph from Geeta at the Canucks game, even though her plug for the concourse autographs will be a day late.
She's such a lazy sack. She doesn't even sign it. She just wears lipstick.
New Year, same Geeta.